What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the cat in the hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo of StyleArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And welcome to another Discourse in Dress, some expressions for your ensemble and some sonnets for your style. Today we're going to be wrapping up our conversation on casual shirts and how to keep those things cool, calm, and casual. Now, if you missed some of our other previous videos this week talking all about the colors, the context, what to wear, what's trending, then make sure you go back and check out those videos before you continue watching this one, just so you'll have the proper framework. You get it, framework. We've been talking about shirts, the framework. Okay. For the rest of the conversation. Now, if you have been following those, let's go and get into it. When you are thinking about your casual shirts, I want you to think about three spaces that you're potentially going to be in this spring and this summer. And that is going to be in a sporty space, in a casual space, or in a luxurious space. Now, when we're talking about the sporty space, I'm talking about whether you're going to be a spectator or an active participant in said sport. You always want to think about movement, and you always want to think about comfort level. If you're a spectator and you're going out to a baseball game, or you're going to go to a tennis match, or you're going to go to a golf match or be on the golf course, I know some of you guys don't play tennis or do golf. Expand your mind, man. That's all I'm saying. Expand your mind. Open your mind up to some new situations. But in any case, if you are in any of those situations, whether you're watching or you are actively participating, you have to think about comfort and movement. If you're a spectator, you're still going to be getting up, walking around. You're going to be networking potentially, or you may have a client out when you are out there, or you're on a date, and so you may be trying to move your arm so that you can wrap it around the young lady. There's still going to be movement, but you also don't want to be overly dressed unless you're going to a soccer game. If you're going to a soccer game, you still may be able to throw on a suit. Saw a few guys in some suits at a soccer game. But even at a soccer game, you want to make sure that you are comfortable and capable of moving. Now, if you're in the sport and you're actually active in that space, then you definitely need something that's going to be able to move with all those different types of movements that you're going to engage in on the golf course or on the tennis court. So you just want to make sure that you are going to be in a comfortable space when you are swinging either the racket or those golf clubs. The second thing is going to be the casual space. And when it comes to your casual spaces that you're going to be in, you want to think about being concise and about being comfortable. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be like, what does conciseness have to do with anything when it comes to your clothing? Well, when it comes to those casual spaces, again, your style is speaking. So you want to kind of get straight to the point. You don't want to do anything that's going to be super complex, because you're just chilling. You're hanging out with your friends. It doesn't need to be all of that. So when you're stepping out into those spaces, don't be dismissive of how you're presenting yourself, because again, you always want to make sure that you're consistent in your expression, but you can make sure that it's still very straight to the point. When I'm hanging out with friends, even though this look may be, a little over the top, it's still consistent with who I am, but it's straight to the point. Black border, a polka dot shirt, it's no muss, no fuss. You don't have to think about it. And it also needs to be comfortable. You're probably going to be at a barbecue, or you may be hanging out in the basement, with the homies, or you're going to be on somebody's porch just hanging out, enjoying the day, or maybe just chilling in the park. And in any of those situations, you never know who may be coming into the space. And this is why I say be concise, but don't be dismissive with your look, because it may be a young lady that you're interested in, and you don't want to feel bummy when you're about to approach her, because then that's going to throw off everything else. But that's a different conversation. So you always want to make sure that your look is straight to the point with what you're looking to express, but it's also still comfortable when you are stepping out. The last space that I'm talking about when I say luxuriousness is more so just the elevation of where you're going to be. So this is a rooftop party, but this is an exclusive rooftop party. Or you're going to travel and you're going to Miami, or you're going to Puerto Rico, and so you need something that's going to be a little bit more elevated for when you're stepping out and going to dinner, or you're doing a dinner out on a nice little terrace. These things are going to be a little bit more luxe. They're going to be a little bit more dressed up. So when you step out, you want to make sure that there's a certain level of sophistication when you're interacting with others. And this is because sophistication is alluring, it's sexy, it's attractive and magnetic. And so if you're at one of these different types of spaces and everybody else is a little frumpy, but your shirt is fitted, it's a great maybe silk or a linen type of blend, so it has a slight little glisten on it. You've made sure that you're breathing well, so you're not sweating under your arms like everybody else is. Like, all these little things speak to a certain level of elevation in that space while you're still comfortable, and it looks good tucked in with a nice belt. Like, all these things say that you are thinking about how you are showing up in your style. Now, you notice I didn't talk to you about fit, I didn't talk to you about color, and the reason being is because we covered that earlier this week. So if you did not check out the earliest videos, make sure that you go back and check them out. But above all, I want you to think in a space of comfort. Always think of comfort when it comes to casual clothing, but then add on those 3 different other elements that are going to be beneficial to you when you are stepping out in style. So I'm going to go over 4 different shirts that you can try on in a fit that you're probably not going to buy, but it's just good to have in your mental repertoire when you step out. And all these different types of shirts are going to be for those different situations that I was making mention of. And you can either try them on, see how they fit you, or discard them because they're not going to work with what your style is looking to say. So we're going to go over those, and make sure that you leave me some comments in the comment box and let me know which one you're feeling. So the first shirt that we're going to discuss is the button down. Now, of course, the button down collar we talked about last week when we were talking about polos, so you know the brief history of button down collars. But if you are in a business casual setting, don't be the guy in the t-shirts and the jeans. Like, step your game up, because you're trying to separate yourself and you're worth more than you just being in a t-shirt and jeans all the time. So throw on a button-down collar. When you throw that on, it still has a certain level of sportiness to it. It still has a certain level of movement, and it will be comfortable when you are stepping into that space, but will still speak to a certain level of business orientation when you are moving about the day. Now, one of my favorite ones is this 3-button button-down collar. It has a 3-button band on the collar, so it does sit much higher. I don't really particularly wear it with ties because it just has much more of a casual element to it, and it's striped in different colors, and so it is much more expressive. It's not something that I would particularly wear when I'm handling business, but if it's business casual or it's casual Friday, this is the perfect piece for you to wear, because it's going to be a great transitional piece when you are stepping out for cocktails or happy hour, or for a date out with the young lady after work. And it's not going to be too fussy, it's not going to be too serious or too austere when you're stepping out. The second shirt is a shirt that I hear a lot of guys say that every guy needs to have. I'm not jumping on that train just yet, but it is a cool shirt, and that is the Henley. Now, the Henley is the new hot-ish when it comes to menswear. It used to be the V-neck, now it's the Henley. And the thing that I like about the Henley is that it has this undertone of being a bad boy. So if you stepping out and you want to be cool, you want to express yourself in that manner, a Henley is a great way to do that. Oftentimes when I'm dealing with guys who don't really want to wear a t-shirt, or they do need to be slightly dressed up, just slightly elevated, we do put them in a Henley in a nice fabric, and it can immediately elevate a mood. The Henley is a great little look. Now, here's a caveat. When you're wearing a Henley, please make sure that you are getting the right size, and make sure that your body is going to be conducive for that type of clothing. What do I mean? There's a lot of guys who go out and get these Henleys and got beer bellies. They ain't worked out in years, and then they're trying to throw on that Henley. You are not going to look like a bad boy. You're just going to look like a bad boy, like dude who didn't know what he was doing. So please make sure that you're paying attention in those spaces when you're wearing a Henley. Now, if you like the Henley, but you don't necessarily have the body type for it, a great option is the banded Mao or Mandarin collar. Now, those Mandarin collars, the banded collars, still can have the same type of effect. It can just be a little bit more dressed up. Personally, I like to wear those more than I like wearing Henleys, because I done got a little doughy. I'm working on it, but I'm a little doughy. I ain't ashamed. I can admit it. And so because of that, the banded collar will still give me that same type of effect, but it will still allow for me to keep things covered and secure to frame me in the proper way. The third shirt that you can get is a novelty shirt. Now, novelty shirts are always fun. I always like to equate novelty shirts to the t-shirts that used to have the script on them. You know, the ones that used to say "Hugs for Thugs." You know you had 2 or 3 of those shirts. I'm just saying. I think that the novelty shirt has a certain level of association. No, there's generally not any script on there. There's nothing else that's going to be extra there, but you still have a certain level of whimsical, light nature when you are stepping out in those spaces. So those are the 4 different types of shirts that you can wear. Now, there's one last shirt that I would recommend getting if you are going to be going to the beach, you're going to be traveling, and that is a nice lightweight silk or lightweight shirt. Now, this shirt that I have on is going to be a paisley. Yes, you see all the bold colors and all the vibrant colors, but it also is 100% silk. So it's super light, it's very luxurious, it kind of ties in all those different elements, and it's something that I would wear if I'm dining on the beach or if I'm going to be chilling before I go get in the water. And it is an elevated expression, but it's not something that's a necessity. You know I'm an extra dude. You know I do things loud and vibrantly and in color, and that's just me. So you don't have to go get that, but if you are stepping out, that is not a bad way to go. So those are the 5 shirts that will keep things cool, calm, and casual this summer. Try that on, see how it fits you, and leave me some comments in the comment box letting me know which shirt spoke to you and what you are going to go out and cop. I always love hearing those conversations and those thoughts, and I love hearing your story. So please make sure that your style is speaking. Please make sure that you give this a thumbs up if you found the information beneficial and enlightening. Please make sure that you share this with a friend. You never know, they just might need it. And make sure that you subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. We are here every Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And lastly, please don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind. So you should always dress to express. I'll see you next week. Peace.